There are people in this world who wear a mask of virtue, but behind it lies a darkness that corrupts everything it touches. They do not come with horns or flashing warnings. They come as friends, as colleagues, even as family. But if you watch closely, you will see the cracks in their disguise, the subtle signs that reveal who they truly are. Evil is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers in the form of manipulation, deceit, and a complete lack of conscience. And if you do not recognize these signs in time, you may find yourself caught in a web of destruction, your peace shattered, your spirit drained. But we are not here to be victims. We are here to be warriors of self-mastery, unmoved by deception, unshaken by manipulation. The Stoics have long taught us that evil thrives where ignorance allows it. Today, we will bring light to that darkness. Today, we will unveil the 7 red flags that reveal when someone around you is not just flawed, but truly malevolent. Because a Stoic does not merely observe the world, he masters himself to stand above it. Red flag number 1, they exploit your emotions to control you. A person who seeks power over others will never attack where you are strong. Instead, they will strike where you are weak, through your emotions. They will study you like a hunter watches its prey, learning what makes you anxious, what makes you doubt yourself, what ignites your deepest fears. And once they have this knowledge, they will use it as a weapon. They will manipulate you with guilt, planting the idea that you owe them something. They will provoke you to anger, making you act impulsively so they can paint you as the villain. They will shower you with praise, only to withdraw it when you no longer serve their agenda. Their control is not enforced through chains, but through the subtle twisting of your emotions, making you believe that your suffering is your own doing. Marcus Aurelius warned us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. A Stoic understands that emotions are not the enemy, but unchecked emotions are. The moment you allow someone to dictate how you feel, you have handed them the keys to your inner fortress. And make no mistake, someone who seeks to control your emotions does not do so for your benefit. They do it to rule over you. So we must rise above this. We must train ourselves to observe, not react, to recognize manipulation for what it is and sever its influence before it takes root. A person who thrives on controlling others will wither when faced with someone they cannot control. And that is what we must become. A storm may rage around us, but inside there must be only stillness. Red flag number 2, they lack any sense of guilt or remorse. A truly evil person does not feel the weight of their own actions. They lie, they betray, they destroy, but they do not feel regret. Watch closely and you will see it in their eyes. Avoid where conscience should be. When they harm others, they do not seek forgiveness. They justify. When they are caught, they do not express remorse. They shift the blame. Seneca once wrote, "A good character, when watched, is consistent." But the corrupt are always shifting, always escaping, always excusing. This is the nature of a person without guilt. They see morality not as a code to follow, but as a tool to manipulate. They will twist logic to defend the indefensible. They will make you question your own reality, convincing you that their wrongdoing is somehow your fault. A Stoic does not fall for this deception. We hold people accountable not by their words, but by their actions. If a person can repeatedly harm others without hesitation, if they can betray trust without losing sleep, they are a danger to all who stand near them, and we must stand nowhere close. But here is where many falter. They believe they can awaken the conscience of the wicked. They believe that through patience, through kindness, they can teach an empty soul to feel remorse. This is a lie we tell ourselves because we do not want to accept the truth. Some people are beyond saving. And if we refuse to see this, we become their next victims. Epictetus reminds us, crows pick out the eyes of the dead, but flatterers destroy the souls of the living. Evil does not need to strike you down. It only needs you to doubt what you see. But we do not doubt. We observe. We recognize. And when necessary, we walk away, untouched, unmoved. Because to walk with the guilty is to share in their guilt. Red flag number 3. They take pleasure in the suffering of others. A person's true nature is revealed not when they are in pain, but when others are. Watch how they react when someone stumbles, when someone fails, when someone suffers. Do they offer a hand or do they smirk in satisfaction? The wicked do not merely tolerate suffering, they enjoy it. It gives them a sense of power, a sense of control. Seneca once wrote, "A good man delights in lifting others up. A wicked man delights in pushing them down." This is the dividing line between the honorable and the corrupt. A man of virtue sees another suffering and feels compelled to help. A man of darkness sees another suffering and feels nothing at all. Or worse, he enjoys it. You will see this in subtle ways. They will mock people behind their backs, disguising cruelty as humor. They will manipulate others into misfortune, only to watch from a distance, feigning innocence. They will create situations where pain is inevitable, not because they gain anything tangible, but because watching others in distress fuels them. A Stoic recognizes that evil does not always come with a knife in hand. It often comes with a smile, a joke, an approving nod at another's downfall. And when we notice this, we must not make excuses. We must not tell ourselves that perhaps they did not mean it. No. A person who can take pleasure in suffering once will do so again, and again, and again. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If we remain close to those who revel in cruelty, we will either become like them or be broken by them. There is no middle ground, so we must choose wisely, because what a person laughs at today, they will justify tomorrow, and soon after, they will act upon it. Red flag number 4. They betray without hesitation. Loyalty is not just a virtue, it is a measure of a person's soul. A good man stands by his word, values trust, and protects those who rely on him. But an evil man? He sees trust as an opportunity, a weapon, a means to an end. Betrayal is not an accident, it is not a mistake, it is a choice, a deliberate act of selfishness at the expense of another. And once a person betrays without hesitation, understand this, they will do it again and again. Because to them, loyalty is not a principle, it is a game, one they will abandon the moment it no longer serves them. Epictetus warned us, "He who is unfaithful in small things is unfaithful in great ones." If a person casually lies, if they spread secrets, if they turn on those who once called them friend, they are revealing their nature. And nature does not change overnight. Many deceive themselves, believing that this time will be different, that perhaps they have learned their lesson. But a Stoic knows better. We do not waste time trying to change the unchangeable. Instead, we act with wisdom. We observe the patterns and accept the truth. A person who betrays once will betray again. The only variable is when. And so, we do not plead, we do not argue, we do not demand loyalty from the disloyal. We simply remove them from our lives like a doctor removes an infection, without hatred, without regret. Because to keep a traitor close is to invite the knife to our own back. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. And being good does not mean tolerating those who are not. A bridge burned by a traitor is a blessing, because it means they can never cross back into your life. Red flag number 5. They crave power, but lack integrity. A good man earns respect through his actions. A wicked man demands it through intimidation, deception, and control. Power in itself is neither good nor evil. It is the hands that wield it that determine its nature. And the most dangerous people in this world are not those who hold power, but those who seek it without principles. You will recognize them by their hunger. They manipulate, they scheme, they bend the truth to serve their ambition. They do not lead by example, they dominate through fear. They do not inspire loyalty, they demand obedience. To them, morality is not a code, it is an obstacle, one they will step over without hesitation if it gets in their way. Marcus Aurelius warned us, the mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. And so, the corrupt turn barriers of ethics into opportunities for deception. They will charm their way into trust, only to betray it when their power is secured. They will disguise cruelty as authority, selfishness as leadership, and control as guidance. A Stoic does not fall for such illusions. We see power for what it is, a test of character. And when a person seeks power without possessing virtue, we recognize the danger before it strikes. The weak are drawn to positions of dominance to compensate for their own lack of inner strength. The strong, however, have no need for such games. They rule over themselves first, and only then can they lead others. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. The man who cannot control his desires will be ruled by them. And those who crave power without integrity will always abuse it when given the chance. So we must ask, does this person seek power to uplift others or to elevate themselves? Do they build or do they consume? Do they act with wisdom or do they manipulate with cunning? The answers to these questions determine whether a person is a leader or a tyrant. And when the answer is clear, we do not argue. We do not try to change them. We simply walk away, because the only power they have over us is the power we give them. Red flag number 6, they twist truth to serve their own agenda. Truth is the foundation of wisdom. It is the unshakable ground upon which the Stoic stands. But to an evil person, truth is not a virtue. It is a tool, something to be bent, twisted, or discarded whenever it suits them. They do not lie out of necessity. They lie because deception gives them power. They will distort facts to avoid responsibility. They will rewrite history to make themselves the victim. They will manipulate others by presenting half-truths, always keeping just enough reality in their words to make their lies believable. Watch closely, and you will see the pattern. Every story they tell serves their interests. Every accusation they make shifts blame away from themselves. Marcus Aurelius warned, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This is the measure of a virtuous man. But the wicked live by an opposite creed. If it is not useful to me, I will change it. If it does not serve me, I will destroy it. A Stoic does not entertain such deception. We do not argue with liars, for debate is meaningless when truth itself is disregarded. We do not waste time proving reality to those who wish to deny it. Instead, we walk in clarity, sharpening our discernment, recognizing deception before it takes root in our minds. The danger of the deceiver is not just in their words, it is in their ability to make you doubt your own perception. If they can twist truth, they can twist you. But a disciplined mind does not sway with the winds of manipulation. A disciplined mind sees things as they are and acts accordingly. Epictetus reminds us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. And so, we do not waste effort trying to make the liar see the truth. We simply ensure that their lies never dictate our reality. Because the moment we allow falsehood to take root, we have already surrendered. Red flag number 7, they drain your energy and corrupt your mind. Some people do not attack you with words or actions. They do not need to. Instead, they corrode your soul by simply being in your presence. These people are parasites, not in body but in spirit. They feed on your strength, your peace, your very essence, leaving you exhausted and lost in their wake. At first, they seem harmless, perhaps even charismatic. But over time, you feel it, a heaviness when they are near, a sense of unease after every interaction. They are never at peace, and so they ensure that you never are either. They bring endless problems, endless conflicts, endless negativity, until your mind is no longer your own. Seneca warned us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And this is precisely how the toxic operate. They do not need to strike you directly. They simply cloud your thoughts, infect your emotions, and distort your reality until you become a version of yourself that you no longer recognize. A Stoic recognizes this danger. We understand that our minds are fortresses, and not all should be allowed inside. We must protect our mental clarity as fiercely as a warrior protects his homeland. Because once an enemy gains access to our inner world, they control everything. Our thoughts, our emotions, our very destiny. So we must ask, does this person add to our strength, or do they drain it? Do they elevate our minds, or do they corrupt them? If the answer is the latter, we must not hesitate. We do not argue, we do not justify. We remove them from our lives with the same discipline a surgeon removes a poison. Without hesitation, without regret. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And no one has the right to poison them. Let them go. Let them fade into the void where they belong. Because our energy, our peace, our clarity, these are the foundations of our strength, and we will not sacrifice them for the sake of those who seek to destroy. Conclusion: protect your mind, guard your soul. Evil does not always announce itself with fire and fury. More often it whispers. It disguises itself in charm, in excuses, in carefully woven lies. It does not strike all at once. It erodes slowly, methodically, until you no longer recognize the battlefield, or worse, yourself. A Stoic does not ignore these red flags. We do not allow ourselves to be blinded by hope, nor do we waste time trying to reform the irredeemable. We see things as they are. We act with wisdom, and we remove from our lives those who threaten our inner peace. Seneca reminds us, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. The process is mutual, for men learn while they teach. This is the essence of true strength, not in conquering others, but in choosing who we allow into our lives. So if you see these signs, do not hesitate. Do not reason with evil. Do not negotiate with it. Simply walk away. Not in fear, but in power. Because true power lies in self-mastery, in fortitude, in the unwavering discipline of the mind. And those who threaten that discipline, they do not deserve a single moment of your time. Remember, we are not here to fix the wicked. We are here to master ourselves. Let us know, have you encountered these red flags in your life? And how did you respond? Engage with each other, share your experiences, and as always, strive for strength, clarity, and virtue. Because in a world full of deception, the greatest act of defiance is to live with unwavering truth. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.